Welcome to our channel. Some 1-cent pennies are worth way more than you'd ever expect. These tiny coins have shocked collectors by selling for thousands. Stick around, you might have one hiding in your pocket right now. Imagine this, you're casually going through your coins, maybe even looking for something to pay for a quick snack or a coffee, when suddenly you notice a 1978 penny. It's not unusual, just another coin among many. But wait, before you toss it back into your jar or wallet, what if I told you that this penny could be worth more than just 1 cent? What if, with just a little closer inspection, this small, seemingly ordinary penny could actually be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars? Surprised? Well, that's exactly the case with the 1978 USA 1-cent penny, a coin that has a fascinating history and significant value for coin collectors. At first glance, the 1978 penny might look like any other coin from the late 20th century. It features the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side and a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The design itself is familiar, with Lincoln's figure gazing confidently into the future. But just because the design is familiar doesn't mean that every 1978 penny is identical in value. In fact, this very penny, which you might have tossed aside or ignored, could be an invaluable collector's item. Coin collectors know that it's not just the design that matters, it's the minting process, the condition, and the subtle variations that turn an ordinary coin into a valuable artifact. The 1978 penny, while not necessarily rare in terms of the sheer number minted, has earned its place in the collector's spotlight due to certain unique characteristics, errors, and conditions that can make specific examples worth a significant amount of money. Whether it's a minting error, a slight variation in the way the coin was struck, or simply an impeccable state of preservation, these factors can elevate the 1978 penny from being worth a few cents to being worth thousands, or even more. Minting errors are among the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and they are a primary reason why a seemingly normal coin like the 1978 penny can be so valuable. During the minting process, it's possible for a coin to experience issues with its production. These errors could be something as simple as a slight misalignment in the striking process or something much more drastic, like a double strike, where the coin gets hit by the die more than once. Such a defect can cause the image on the coin to overlap or appear doubled, creating a unique and rare variant. These double-strike pennies are highly sought after by collectors, as they are not only visually distinctive but also extremely rare. A minting mistake like this could send the value of a 1978 penny into the thousands of dollars. Another common type of error is the off-center strike. When a coin isn't properly aligned in the minting press, it can result in the design being struck off-center. This means part of the design might be cut off, or the image could be misplaced in a way that makes the coin appear to be slightly tilted. Such an error is highly prized because it's unusual and unlike any other regular penny in circulation. Collectors pay top dollar for these rare, imperfect pennies, and they are often the ones that end up fetching prices far beyond what you would expect for a 1-cent coin. But even beyond minting errors, the condition of the coin is one of the most crucial factors when determining its value. Most of the 1978 pennies that have circulated for years are worn, scratched, or discolored from daily handling. Coins that have seen a lot of use tend to lose their sharp details, and the metal can become dull or tarnished over time. However, if you have a 1978 penny that is in excellent condition, let's say one that was kept in a drawer or a coin collection from the time it was minted, it can be worth much more. The value of coins increases exponentially based on their state of preservation. If a 1978 penny has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, its worth can be significantly higher. Even the smallest imperfections in a coin's appearance can affect its value, so finding one in mint condition is a rarity, and these pristine pennies are highly coveted by collectors, along with the minting errors and the condition. Another factor to keep in mind is the mint mark. The 1978 penny was produced at two different mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The coins from the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint have the letter D imprinted on them. While the mint mark alone doesn't always determine the value of a coin, it's still a crucial detail in identifying which version of the 1978 penny you're dealing with. Some collectors might focus on pennies from a specific mint, particularly if that mint produced fewer coins, making those particular pennies rarer. And now, here comes the big question: how much could your 1978 penny actually be worth? While most of the pennies you encounter will probably only fetch a few cents above face value, it's the rare coins with minting errors, pristine conditions, or unique features that can make a massive difference. Depending on these factors, a 1978 penny has been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. In rare cases, when you come across a 1978 penny with an off-center strike, a double strike, or it's in perfect uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to a coin worth well over $100,000. The most valuable 1978 pennies have sold for as much as $110,000 at auction, making them some of the most expensive pennies ever to change hands. So, the next time you find yourself with a 1978 penny in your pocket or in your coin jar, take a second to inspect it carefully. Look for any unusual marks, minting errors, or signs of excellent preservation. It may look like just another coin to you, but it could turn out to be a rare and valuable piece of American coinage. After all, you never know, you might just have a hidden gem worth more than you could imagine. Imagine for a moment that you're going through your change, maybe sorting through your coins or reaching into your jar, when you come across a penny from 1985. To the casual observer, it might seem like any other penny, small and insignificant, worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that this very penny, with a bit of luck and some careful attention, could actually be worth a fortune? The 1985 USA 1-cent penny, while often overlooked, has a surprising amount of value for collectors and investors alike. Its value lies not in the design itself, but in the unique details, minting errors, and its rare finds that could transform an ordinary penny into an extraordinary discovery. The history behind the 1985 penny, like many coins, begins with its design. The obverse of the coin, featuring the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, remains the same as it has since 1909 when it was first introduced. The reverse side, depicting the Lincoln Memorial, also carries the legacy of one of the most iconic American symbols. These design elements are timeless, and it's easy to see why Lincoln's image has stood the test of time on American currency. However, while the basic design is familiar, it's the details within the coin's production that really matter. The 1985 penny was produced at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, and each version can have slight differences. While most people might not think twice about the minting of pennies, collectors are keenly aware of the subtle variations in mint marks, design, and even imperfections that can add significant value to a coin. For the 1985 penny, it's often the rare minting errors or exceptional conditions that make it so valuable. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. A small mistake in the minting process can lead to a coin being worth far more than its intended value. Some of the 1985 pennies exhibit striking errors, like double strikes, where the coin was struck by the minting press more than once, creating a blurred or doubled design. Double strike pennies are particularly rare and highly sought after because of their unusual appearance. These errors can make the coin stand out from the rest, creating a distinct variant that attracts collectors. Another minting error that has been found in certain 1985 pennies is the off-center strike. When a coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, it can result in the image being printed off-center. This gives the coin a unique appearance, where parts of the design are either missing or misaligned. Off-center pennies are considered a mistake in the minting process, and as a result, they are more valuable to collectors who appreciate the rarity and imperfection that comes with such errors. Even a slight misalignment can make a coin much more desirable and increase its value significantly. Beyond minting errors, the condition of the penny plays a crucial role in its value. Most pennies that have circulated for years show signs of wear. The image on the coin may be worn down, and the surface could be scratched or discolored. However, a penny that is kept in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a far higher price than one that has been heavily used. Collectors look for coins that have been well preserved, as they represent a snapshot of history in near-perfect form. The 1985 penny, if kept in excellent condition, can command impressive prices in the market. Another key factor in the 1985 penny's value is its mint mark. The coins minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those from Denver feature a D mint mark. Though the mint mark doesn't always determine the coin's value, it can influence a collector's decision to acquire a particular penny. The differences between the two mints are subtle but important for those looking to complete a collection or invest in specific variants of the penny. As we dive deeper into the world of coin collecting, we begin to realize just how much hidden value there is in coins that seem so ordinary at first glance. A penny, which we may dismiss as trivial and insignificant, can actually be a rare treasure when viewed through the eyes of a collector. Coins like the 1985 penny may seem like a small, simple part of daily life, but for collectors, they represent an opportunity to own a piece of history. And the rarity and condition of a 1985 penny are what can turn it into a sought-after item, worth far more than its face value. The 1985 penny, especially those with minting errors or in exceptional condition, has become highly valuable on the collector's market. A penny that was produced over 30 years ago and spent countless years in circulation can sometimes end up fetching prices far beyond what anyone could expect. Depending on the condition, rarity of minting errors, and the demand among collectors, a single 1985 penny could potentially sell for as much as $102,000 at auction. It may be difficult to imagine that something as small and seemingly mundane as a penny could hold such value, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. What may look like a simple, everyday object to one person can hold incredible historical and financial significance to another. And while most 1985 pennies won't fetch such lofty sums, the ones that have survived the test of time with unique features or minting errors are worth far more than anyone might realize at first glance. So, the next time you find a 1985 penny, take a moment to look it over carefully. Examine its surface for any signs of wear, any potential minting errors, or any characteristics that might set it apart from a typical coin. You could be holding on to a rare treasure, and you won't know until you take a closer look. And who knows, the penny you thought was just another piece of change might just end up being worth a small fortune. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and the 1985 penny is a prime example of how something as small as a single coin can carry so much potential value. It's a reminder to never overlook the coins you have, as they could very well be more valuable than you think. So take a look through your collection, who knows what you might find. The 1991-cent penny might seem like an ordinary coin, something that passes through countless hands daily, often without anyone giving it a second thought. However, in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, this seemingly insignificant penny can hold significant value, particularly under certain conditions. What makes a penny from 1990 stand out, and why do collectors and enthusiasts pay close attention to these coins? The simple answer is that a coin, no matter how ordinary it may seem, can become extraordinarily valuable when it's unique or rare enough. In this video, we're diving into the world of the 1990 penny, a coin that could be sitting right in your pocket, and uncovering just why it could be worth a small fortune. The 1990 penny was minted during a time when the United States was still adjusting to the realities of a changing economic landscape. In 1990, the country was experiencing both technological advancements and global economic shifts, which made the value of a coin like the penny somewhat overlooked in comparison to major economic events happening worldwide. However, this particular penny was part of a much broader coinage system that still plays a critical role in the U.S. economy today. As with all coins, some pennies were produced with more attention to detail, and their unique characteristics or imperfections have allowed them to become rare and highly collectible. One of the most compelling reasons why a 1990 penny is worth looking at is its rarity in certain conditions. Most pennies produced in the late 20th century were circulated heavily and, as a result, are often worn or damaged by the time they reach the hands of collectors. If a 1990 penny has been kept in excellent condition, free of wear and tear, it immediately becomes a much more valuable coin. The rarity of such coins in mint condition is what drives the demand. In fact, the higher the quality of the coin, the more it will appeal to collectors looking to add something extraordinary to their collections. To the average person, a well-worn penny might seem like just another small piece of currency. But for numismatists, there is a significant difference between a regular, circulated penny and one that has been perfectly preserved. Mint state or uncirculated coins are incredibly valuable because of how rare they are. These coins are usually free from any visible damage or discoloration. When a penny is in this pristine condition, it holds more than just its face value, it holds the potential for a collector to pay a significant sum for the opportunity to own it. However, it's not just the condition of the penny that determines its value. Like many other rare coins, some pennies can be worth much more than their face value due to production errors. Mistakes made during the minting process can lead to incredibly rare and valuable coins, often fetching much higher prices than expected. The 1990 penny is no exception. Some of the most sought-after 1990 pennies have small, subtle errors that were overlooked during production and only noticed years later by attentive collectors. These mistakes can include things like double-struck coins, off-center prints, misaligned dies, and even incorrect mint marks. Such imperfections add character to the coin, and they make it an interesting addition to any collection that in particular, error coins can be extremely valuable. A small mistake during the production process could render a coin unique, making it a prized find for those who specialize in error coins. For example, an off-center strike, where the design of the coin isn't properly aligned, could result in a penny that is much rarer than a typical 1990 coin. A coin with this kind of error could potentially be worth much more than a standard penny. The 1990 penny has become an exciting target for error collectors because of the small but significant number of errors that exist. Mint marks also play a role in the desirability and value of a 1990 penny. The 1990 penny was struck at multiple mints, and some collectors focus specifically on coins from certain mints. The presence or absence of a mint mark can influence the appeal of the coin. For example, the Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of the 1990 pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint marked its pennies with a D. Depending on the collector's preference, the mint mark can significantly alter the value of a particular penny. Some collectors prefer to have coins from a specific mint in their collection, so the 1990 Denver penny could be especially valuable for those completing a set of pennies from a certain location. Another crucial aspect of the 1990 penny is its historical context. While the penny itself may not be as widely celebrated as other coins, such as the rare 1943 copper penny or the famous 1913 Liberty Head nickel, it does represent a particular moment in U.S. history. The year 1990 saw the country in the midst of the economic changes that characterized the late 20th century. In the decades to follow, the penny would face increasing debate over its utility in modern currency. By examining coins like the 1990 penny, collectors are not just looking at currency, they are looking at a small piece of history. The story behind each coin, the subtle differences that arise from manufacturing, and the shifts in design over time make each penny a reflection of a time long gone. Now, what truly makes the 1990 penny stand out from the rest of the pennies in circulation is its hidden potential for substantial value in certain conditions. Pennies from this year, when they have the right mix of error, mint mark, and pristine condition, can sometimes be worth much more than you might think. The market for these rare finds is always active, and if you happen to come across a 1990 penny that fits the right criteria, you might just have a valuable treasure on your hands. In fact, just a few years ago, one such penny sold at auction for an astonishing price, with the right combination of factors, a mint mark, an error, or simply being in excellent condition. The 1990 penny has reached impressive auction prices. One such penny recently sold for $94,000, proving just how valuable these coins can become. It shows that even the most ordinary of coins can have extraordinary value, and it's a reminder to collectors to never overlook a seemingly simple penny, as it might just be hiding a potential fortune. Keep searching through your change and checking your penny jar, because you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. The 2004 1-cent penny may seem like just another standard coin, something most of us might pass through our hands without a second thought. However, for those in the world of numismatics, it holds a much deeper significance. The penny, a symbol of American currency for decades, has undergone numerous transformations, both in design and composition, over its long history. The 2004 penny represents a key moment in that evolution. To the casual observer, it might appear unremarkable, but to collectors and enthusiasts, it's a piece of American history. Why? Because hidden within the millions of pennies produced in 2004, there are some rare and valuable specimens that stand out due to small variations in their minting process, making them highly sought after today. In the early 2000s, the United States was grappling with the rising costs of manufacturing coins. The penny, in particular, had become more expensive to produce than its face value. This economic dilemma led to debates about the penny's usefulness and whether it should be eliminated. However, despite these concerns, the penny continued to be minted, and in 2004, a new series of design changes was introduced to the 1-cent coin. The 2004 penny is notable for the introduction of the Presidency series, which aimed to honor the 4 U.S. presidents who were commemorated on the reverse of the coin. The first of these new designs was created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This coin features an image of President Jefferson's home, Monticello, and was part of a broader initiative to honor the contributions of America's founding fathers. The reverse of the coin had been redesigned to highlight Jefferson's residence in Virginia, a location that was symbolic of his legacy as a statesman, author of the Declaration of Independence, and founder of the University of Virginia. What makes the 2004 penny so captivating to collectors, however, isn't necessarily the design itself, but rather the rare coins that were produced due to small, subtle variations that occurred during the minting process. The coin had a few minor design flaws that, when discovered, made certain versions of the 2004 penny stand out in the numismatic community. These flaws would later become crucial factors that determine the coin's future value. One such variation is the so-called double die error, a mistake made during the production process when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned. This resulted in a slight doubling of the coin's design elements. In the case of the 2004 penny, this doubling occurred on the lettering and numbers, most notably in the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These errors are exceptionally rare, and as a result, they quickly became one of the most sought-after varieties of the 2004 penny. Collectors know that finding a penny with this error is like striking gold, and its rarity only increases its desirability and, consequently, its value, but the double die isn't the only variation that has made the 2004 penny valuable. Another key feature that adds to the appeal of this coin is the existence of certain low-relief examples. The relief of a coin refers to how raised or recessed the images and letters on the coin are. Some 2004 pennies were struck with a shallower than usual relief, which led to a softer appearance on the coin. These softer coins, especially those that are well preserved, are prized by collectors because they are incredibly hard to find. Their rarity, coupled with the fact that they carry historical significance, has made them a highly coveted addition to many penny collections. It's also important to note that the mint marks on the 2004 penny add another layer of uniqueness to this coin. Coins from different mints carry different mint marks, and this can influence their desirability. The 2004 penny was minted at multiple locations across the country, including the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While the majority of 2004 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and bear no mint mark, the ones from Denver are typically marked with a D. Some collectors have a preference for certain mints, making the Denver-marked pennies from 2004 particularly valuable to those focusing on collecting pennies from specific mints. As with any coin, the condition plays a critical role in determining value. Pennies that are in near mint or mint condition are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated or damaged. Because the penny is a commonly used denomination, many of the coins from 2004 show signs of wear and tear from being handled over the years. However, when a 2004 penny is kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, dents, or discoloration, it becomes a rare and valuable find. The appeal of uncirculated coins, coins that have never been used in circulation, cannot be overstated, as these pieces are typically worth far more than those that have been passed from hand to hand. Collectors and investors alike understand the significance of preserving coins in mint condition. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. When it comes to the 2004 penny, a coin that has remained in pristine condition since its minting is truly a rare find. These coins are often sold at auction or through private sales, sometimes commanding prices that far exceed the typical value of a penny. Over the years, the 2004 penny has become one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the modern penny series. As collectors continue to search for the rarest and most pristine examples of this coin, its value continues to rise. Coins with rare minting errors, such as the double die, and those in excellent condition have been known to fetch impressive sums, and the 2004 penny is no exception. The market for these coins is strong, and auctions regularly feature high-value pennies that attract the attention of collectors from around the world. But just how much can a 2004 penny be worth? Well, depending on its condition and any unique minting errors it might possess, this penny could be worth far more than just its face value. A rare, error-free, and uncirculated 2004 penny can be worth thousands of dollars, and examples of the coin with particular minting flaws or unique characteristics can sometimes sell for even more. In fact, some of the rarest examples have sold for as much as $26,000, proving that what may seem like a simple penny in your pocket could hold the key to an unexpected fortune. The story of the 2004 1-cent penny is a reminder that value isn't always determined by a coin's face value, but by its rarity, condition, and the historical significance it carries. So, the next time you find a penny lying around, take a closer look. It could be the start of a much larger discovery, one that might just change the way you view coins forever. You might think the 2006 USA 1-cent penny is just another common coin, something that's always in your pocket or jar, right? But what if I told you that this simple penny could be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard it right. Despite its everyday use, the 2006 penny has gained significant attention from collectors, and some of its rare variations have been sold at auction for staggering amounts. Let's dive into the story behind this coin and explore why it's considered one of the most valuable pennies you might not even know you have. The 2006 penny is part of a long tradition of coins bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. Since its debut in 1909, the Lincoln cent has undergone various design changes, but in 2006, it was still showcasing the image of Lincoln on the obverse, or head side. The reverse of the 2006 penny, however, saw something new. It featured the Union Shield, a symbol representing the strength and unity of the United States. This was an exciting design change for collectors, as it was the first time since 1959 that the reverse of the penny had been redesigned. This new shield design was created to honor the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent and paid tribute to the importance of preserving the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. The Union Shield design itself was a nod to the country's resilience and unity, showcasing 13 vertical stripes symbolizing the original 13 colonies, as well as a banner reading, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The top portion of the shield was adorned with the word, liberty, and at the bottom, in God we trust, was inscribed. It's a fitting design for a coin that has such a long and storied history. But while the 2006 penny might seem like a relatively simple coin, it's the variations and unique features that make it a standout piece in the world of numismatics. One of the key reasons the 2006 penny has garnered so much attention is because of a variety of rare errors that occurred during its minting. These mistakes, while uncommon, make certain coins incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety, which occurs when a coin is struck twice in the same spot, causing the lettering and details to appear doubled. This is particularly visible on the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," where the letters are duplicated. Double die coins are some of the most valuable varieties of any coin, and when they're discovered, they're often sold for substantial amounts at auction. Another interesting error that collectors look for on the 2006 penny is the off-center strike. This happens when a penny is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in an image that appears slightly off to one side of the coin. While these errors are rare, they make the coin much more valuable, especially when they are in excellent condition. Off-center strikes are an anomaly in the minting process, and collectors are always on the lookout for these unique variations. It's important to note that even if you don't find a double die or off-center strike, there are still other reasons why a 2006 penny might be worth more than its face value. The condition of the coin is also a critical factor in determining its worth. Pennies that have been in circulation for many years can suffer from wear and tear, becoming scratched, faded, or bent. However, uncirculated 2006 pennies that have been carefully preserved and kept in pristine condition are far more valuable. These coins are highly sought after by collectors, especially those who want to add a perfect example of the 2006 penny to their collection. In fact, uncirculated 2006 pennies can sell for far more than a typical penny, with prices soaring if the coin is in top-tier condition. Another factor that drives the value of the 2006 penny is its rarity. While billions of these pennies were minted, only a small fraction of them have the potential to be valuable due to the mistakes made during minting or because they were preserved in exceptional condition. As time passes, the number of these rare coins in circulation continues to dwindle, and collectors are more determined than ever to find them. Because of this, a well-preserved or error-filled 2006 penny is increasingly hard to come by, making it all the more valuable in the eyes of collectors. Collectors also seek out 2006 pennies that were minted in specific locations, such as the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, or the San Francisco Mint. Each mint produced coins with small variations in quality, and some mint marks are rarer than others. These tiny differences can make a huge difference in value, with pennies from certain mints commanding higher prices due to their rarity or unique characteristics. Over time, the 2006 penny has gained a reputation as one of the more valuable coins from the Lincoln cent series. As collectors learn more about the potential value of these pennies, interest has steadily increased, and prices have begun to rise. The ability to find a 2006 penny with a minting error or in pristine, uncirculated condition is something that excites collectors and investors alike. It's no wonder that when one of these rare coins hits the auction block, it can command a significant price. In fact, some 2006 pennies have been sold for amounts far beyond their original value. A rare double die error or an uncirculated penny in perfect condition can fetch thousands of dollars. The most exceptional examples of the 2006 penny, with their unique characteristics and rarity, have even been known to break records at auctions. These coins serve as a reminder that sometimes, the coins that seem like nothing more than pocket change can be worth a great deal more than you might expect. Whether it's an error coin, a pristine specimen, or simply a rare find, the 2006 penny is a prime example of how the world of coin collecting holds some incredible surprises. So, before you dismiss that 2006 penny you find in your pocket or on the ground, think twice. The next penny you come across could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of value. From double die errors to pristine uncirculated coins, the 2006 penny is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins out there today. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Remember, the value of the 2006 penny has reached impressive heights at auctions, with some selling for as much as $23,000. Who knows, you might have one of these valuable coins hiding right under your nose. So, keep an eye on those pennies. You never know when you might just strike gold.